Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Friday and all of our guests today, including Farhan, standing by, brought to you by Able Auctions, ableauctions.ca. Game 1, Predators, Canucks, Sunday, 7 o'clock at Rogers Arena, as we bring in the wake of the 4-2 loss last night to Winnipeg, Game 82, as we bring in from TSN, Farhan Lalji. Farhan, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
Good. Playoff time. No wonder Rick's got a Hawaiian shirt on, huh?
It's Friday, man. It's Friday.
Every Friday. Every Friday.
That is true. I usually don't come on Friday, so
That's
I'll
right.
have to remember to wear mine. I'll have to remember to wear mine next week. I put on a dress shirt instead. Is that okay?
Very nice.
Looking outstanding, as sharp as always, Farhan. I see you on Twitter pushing for Quinn Hughes to get the Norris, and why wouldn't you?
Well, why wouldn't you indeed, right? I mean, not only does he lead the NHL in scoring by defensemen, and that seems to have been a pretty big part of this award in recent years, but also when you look at just what he's done for this team defensively and just what the numbers look like at both ends of the ice when he's on the ice. There's been the comparisons with him and Cale Makar and how he doesn't necessarily get as favorable opportunities as Makar does in terms of who he plays with, and Makar playing as much as he does with McKinnon and offensive zone starts and things like that. I mean, it's pretty clear when you look at a lot of the numbers. When you put it out there that 92 points, leads Makar by 2, should get the Norris, people will automatically infer you think it's because of those points. It's not that. It's because of the completeness of this player's game. Quinn Hughes deserves the Norris, and for the Norris Trophy voters that look at this and try to gauge it as a points derby, it's so much more than that, and hopefully they look deeper, and hopefully most of them have already voted and didn't wait till the last second, because it shouldn't be that close.
Any idea what to expect from, and this is the focus of our poll question, Farhan, any idea what to expect from Elias Pettersson in the playoffs?
Yeah. You know what? It's a really good question, because you look back at the playoffs in 2019 and his second year, 2020, I should say, in the bubble, his second year in the league, he gets 7 goals, 11 assists, 18 points in 17 games, and he certainly lived up to the moment. Now, the moments were different. There were no fans, and we know the energy and pressure that comes with that is different. And, we also know that he hasn't played well, of late. Yeah. And when you look at the numbers, right, I mean, in the 33 games since the All-Star break, Elias Pettersson has been pointless in 16 of those. In 19 games against playoff teams since the All-Star break, Elias Pettersson has scored just 9 points in those games and just 1 goal in his last 13. That came on the power play. And for me, I look at just the fact that he's not driving play the same way, just something as simple as possession time, right? I mean, this guy has gone from 23rd in the NHL in possession time, the amount of time the puck is on his stick in a 60-minute period, from 23rd to 109th before the All-Star break and after, including a 15% reduction in ozone possession time. Elias Pettersson needs to drive play more. Has it looked better in the last few games? 5 points in the last 7 games? Yeah, there's been a bit of an uptick, but I honestly think that the people who believe that Pettersson is being held to such a high standard, I think are completely flawed, because right now he's been held to a complete low standard. We see him with the puck a little bit and get 5 points in 7 games, and we think, oh, wow, he's turning it around, because we've based it on what we've seen since the All-Star break. So he needs to find another level. And truly, Donnie, I don't think he's going to get matched up against, right? Like, if you're the Canucks and you want to match up, you're either going to go top line on top line with the Miller line, or you're going to take the Lindholm line and match it up, right, against that Forsberg line. It's not going to be Pettersson. And if you're Andrew Brunette, do you feel the need to match up against Pettersson? Probably not. He's going to get some favorable opportunities. He needs to produce.
No shortage of people are picking the Canucks, Farhan, but they're also saying it's going to be a lot more difficult than people think.
Well, and if you would have asked me 10 days ago, how many people would have picked against the Canucks, right? There probably would have been a lot of people who would have said the Canucks would have been first-round fodder the way they were playing. But they have gotten better, in the last half dozen games of the season, and it's left people a little more confident in what they're going to do. But, yeah, look, Nashville has been really good. And we know about what they did, that 16-0-2 run. But they've been 4-5-1 in their last 10. So they have stepped off the gas a little bit because of just how hard they were working. And when you look at a player like UC Soros and just the heavy workload he's had, Thatcher Demko, just having played these 2 games in the last 5 weeks, whether he liked it or not, is going to be a little bit fresher. And when you look at how these 2 teams profile, you got Quinn Hughes, you got Roman Josi, who's outscored Hughes since Christmas. You've got 2 elite goaltenders. But I think the Canucks on the back end are a little bit deeper. They're a little bit more playoff built with their size and physicality, Luke Schenn notwithstanding. And up front, you've got that top line that's been looking so good for Nashville. But for the Canucks, they're set up as a 3-line team, and that matters. So I like the Canucks' chances in this game. I think they've got the depth, and it's going to prove out over a 6 or 7 game series.
I didn't think the city would ever go 9 years with no playoff games at home, but this fan base deserves Sunday. This fan base deserves Sunday so much, and it is going to be an electric atmosphere. There is no question in my mind come Sunday, Game 1.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic, right? And, the players are really anticipating it as well because, they know that not only have they been through a lot of difficult times for most of them in the last 4 or 5 years, but for the fan base, like you say, it's been 9. And I think, there is a freshness to this because when you go back, guys, and think about 2014, right? They'd been to the Stanley Cup final a few years earlier, and then they lose in round 1 against the Kings, and then they lose in round 1 against San Jose, and then in 15, I should say, when they get back in after missing it for 1 year against Calgary, it was almost a little bit kind of fatalistic because it was the final embers of that last team, of that 2011 team. This is a completely different team now, so there's going to be a freshness and an excitement to this. The fans are going to be so engaged, and I hope they don't take a fatalistic approach, right? Fans in this city have been so used to this year, the Canucks scoring first. What happens if the Preds score first?
Yeah.
Everybody just relax, enjoy the fact that you're here, stay into it, stay energetic, and let this series play out because I think in the end, you'll like the results. Don't panic early.
Rick and Ryan have gone on record as saying that there's no playoff buzz around Vancouver, around BC.
8 days ago.
No. It was a couple of days ago. Do you feel a playoff buzz, Farhan?
Absolutely. I've seen more car flags. Everybody's talking about it. You're seeing people wear jerseys in the streets. I feel it, right? And just that conversation. And look, our entire media group has changed. So how we kind of consume the information compared to what we did 9 years ago is a little different. We talked about it the other day that there's actually only 6 of us who attend, right, that were there 9 years ago, right? That, like IMAC and Kuzma and myself and Pettersson and Woodley, and I think Jay Janowar. It's been a small group, so in terms of where you get your feel and your energy from, it certainly looks a little bit different in that regard too. But for me, everywhere I go, people are talking about it, and they're just excited to let's just get it going.
Like the old days when there was like 30 or 40 guys around, Pat Quinn, and you had to fight to get your microphone in there. You remember
Donnie Taylor reaching over the top with his sports page mic.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't have to reach over the top. I had Trevor Henderson as a cameraman. I think he gave you a couple of elbows through the years, Farhan.
Well, and Trevor Henderson is still there, right? So,
yes, absolutely.
Like I was just talking about the on-camera people, but, Trevor goes back to the 82 Cup run just like you do. So it's been a minute for some of us.
Yeah, that's 1882 for Trevor. Hey, very quickly, NFL draft next week. I don't think we'll be talking to you before that. Who goes first to the Bears, if indeed the Bears
first? It's Caleb Williams, and we don't need to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
The second thing is going to be what does Washington do at number 2, and I think they're going to take Jaden Daniels. You could see quarterbacks go with the first 4 picks if Arizona winds up trading out, but Caleb Williams to the Bears is something that is absolutely going to happen. I mean, once they traded Justin Fields, there was no alternative.
Farhan, exciting times. There's a buzz. Thanks for this. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care, guys.